Today, I'm going to share with you 5 tips on how you can add reading back into your daily life to help you reach your reading goals. Make sure to watch to the end so that you can see how you can win all of these books. Life is crazy, and adulting is hard. There's not enough time in the day to do the things that you feel that you have to do, let alone the things that you want to do, like reading. This was the mentality that had me in a 7-year reading slump. I was just completely overwhelmed by my work, my family, and social obligations, so reading just fell by the wayside. So here are 5 tips I used when starting my BookTube channel to add reading back into my daily life. Tip number 1. Add reading into your morning routine. I'll be the first to admit that I am a morning person. I'm also a creature of habit. I've learned over the years the importance of having a good morning routine to help you feel ready for the day. So my personal morning routine looks something like this. Eat breakfast, shower, get dressed, 30 minutes of chores, and 30 minutes of reading. Having reading in my morning routine and as the last thing in my morning routine means that I get to finish up my morning with something that I really enjoy before having to go to work. If you're not a morning person, that's okay. Do you eat breakfast? Try reading with your cup of coffee or with your breakfast in the morning. Still not a breakfast person? Try putting on an audiobook in your commute on the way to work. Tip number 2, take your book with you. Since I've started BookTube, you would be surprised at the unexpected situations where I have been able to read. There was one time when I was trying to get my phone screen fixed, and I was waiting at the phone store for 30 minutes. So in that time, I just pulled out my book and read. Also, if you have a bit of social anxiety like I do, and hate showing up anywhere late, but then you find yourself being way too early, my suggestion, take your book with you, sit in your car, and read until it's the right time to show up. You can also take your audiobook or your Kindle with you to the gym when you're working out. Tip number 3, read with a buddy. This tip has 2 great benefits. The first is that you have something to talk about with your friend. The second is that having a buddy to read with keeps you accountable for your reading. This is great for introverts and extroverts as it allows extroverts to connect with other people on what they're reading, and it allows introverts to have a form of social activity that they find interesting. Tip number 4. Set a page limit and track your progress. So this one is actually kind of 2 tips in one. The first one is set your page limit. This is good for 2 very opposite types of readers. The first one is like me, where I tend to get overwhelmed at the idea of reading a book in one sitting. So I'll set myself like 20 pages when I sit down to read, or 1 chapter. And then I just read those 20 pages or that 1 chapter, and then I can move on with my day, but still feel like I've accomplished what I set out to do. This is also good for the exact opposite type of reader, like my sister-in-law.
I love to read. I'm not allowed to read very often, and I say that it's by myself that I'm not allowed to read very often, because when I'm reading, I don't want to do anything else.
Who don't read because once they start a book, they can't put it down. Setting a page limit for yourself in this instance gives you a marker where you can say, no, I have to go do other things. I'm putting the book away. Tracking your reading progress through either Goodreads or some other tracking tool is good for both of these types of readers. And that's because you can see yourself working towards the goal that you want and making progress. Before I reveal my last tip, make sure to like this video and subscribe if you want more bookish content. Tip number 5. Put the electronics away at night. I know. I used to have a horrible habit of falling asleep to the television at night. This actually had the opposite effect of what I desired when wanting to go to sleep. This led to many nights of insomnia that also worked to aggravate my anxiety. And when my anxiety runs high, my insomnia gets worse. So it just becomes this ever-increasing cycle of insomnia, anxiety, insomnia, anxiety. Over the last few months, I have switched from having the TV on to turning off all my electronics and reading a book at night instead. This is good because the act of reading can help my eyes feel tired, and then I will usually turn on like a sleep podcast once my eyes are super tired, and I find that I fall asleep in maybe about 5 minutes after I put my book down. But again, think about setting yourself a page limit if it's a really interesting book. I personally utilize steps 1, 4, and 5 the most, but I have found all of these tips to be really helpful. Adding a new step into your routine as an adult can be really difficult, and I just hope that these tips can help you rediscover your love of reading like they did for me. If you've made it to this point in the video, give me a sun or a moon emoji, depending on whether you're a morning or an evening person. All right. So now let's talk about how you can win all those books I showed you in the beginning. During my very first live reading sprint, I passed 100 subscribers, and I am so grateful to each and every one of you that watch my videos that I wanted to do something to give back to you, so I'm doing a giveaway. Yes, it is open worldwide. So for this giveaway, you'll be getting 5 books. You will win The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina by Zoraida Cordova, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, The Last Duel by Eric Yeager, The X-Hex by Erin Sterling, this is my personal favorite of all these books, and A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. Yes, a lot of these are my Book of the Month Club books, but don't worry, you aren't just gonna get a bunch of Book of the Month Club books. You will also get some extra bookish goodies based on a survey that I have pinned in the comments below. But first, before you fill out that survey, let me go over the rules. They're pretty simple. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment telling me which of those books you're most excited to read with this emoji, because 100 subscribers. You'll have 1 week to fill out the survey, and then I will announce the winner in 2 weeks. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and let's see what stories tomorrow brings.